In 1997, a film about a giant monster snake hit the big screens. And the rather old but still reliable monster animal genre got new life in the film Anaconda. And then we got a bunch of sequels that were hit and miss. I saw a couple of them, they were okay. Now we have a true reimagining. And it stars Steve from Minecraft and Ant-Man. Yes, Anaconda 2025. In this story, the film is in canon, and two filmmaking best friends who are struggling in their lives, played by Jack Black and Paul Rudd, decide to remake Anaconda. They're going to go to the Amazon, they're going to film it guerrilla style, and it's going to be awesome. They're joined by a couple of friends who they go way back with, back to their amateur filmmaker days, and they get help from a very eccentric guy and his pet snake. Unfortunately, that's when things go wrong. They made a plan, they executed the plan, but they did not expect the plan to go off the rails, and instead of just throwing away the plan, they tried to salvage it. And that's when things really get crazy, because they're joined by a young woman who's on the run from criminals. Or is she? This version of the story takes a lot of twists and turns. Some characters are surprisingly sympathetic, others not so much. Rudd and Black are both really good in terms of comedy and drama and suspense. The scene where Black's character gets a pig put on his head was even more out there than the previews showed. And the characters they interact with are all fairly decent in terms of believability and eccentricity. As for the effects and locations, first off, gorgeous locations. I don't know if they actually went to the Amazon, but the wide shots and close-ups are all beautifully done. As for the effects, they decided to make the snake more minimalistic than in the previous iterations of this franchise, in order to heighten the suspense and maintain the realism. Because unlike the Anacondas from the original film, the ones here are more realistically realized up to a point. We get one Anaconda that's actually a pet, and it looks and acts like a real thing. Pretty sure it was an animatronic and possibly CGI in parts. The practical and CGI in this one is really good. And then we come to another Anaconda, which some would argue is less believable than the one from the first film, because this one is closer to a prehistoric titanoboa, or possibly even the basilisk from the second Harry Potter film. This thing is a dinosaur, and it still manages to move and act like an actual animal, but at the same time maintains its intimidating nature. And overall, I would say The CGI of this snake may be better than the first film, but the scaling, and by scaling I mean size, is less believable than the snake from the first film. The one from the first film was longer, but this one is bigger, if that makes sense. The music it goes from oldies to classic rock, and it fits. Basically, this is meant to be half reboot, half spoof, and I think it worked. The runtime is decent. There could have been a cut here and there, but overall, even the slow moments were either filled with suspense or filled with emotion. And I did not expect that from a dark comedy starring Jack Black and Paul Rudd. So yeah, if you're a fan of the original Anaconda and you enjoy spoofs, this film is inoffensive. Overall, I'd say it doesn't put the squeeze on your nostalgia, but it does give it a warm embrace. This is Mr. J signing out and reminding you, snakes are only a problem if you bother them. Now, small dogs, those are what you got to really watch out for. And Jack Black and Paul Rudd are one of the best comedy duos I've seen since Abbott and Costello. Happy holidays, folks.